Hello, it's Dr. STM here, and I'm so excited to be talking to the camera again. Camera, lights, action! Oh my god! So I stopped being consistent here for about 18 months. Okay, I don't think it's about 18 months, but it's a year plus, yeah, something like that. And I stopped creating content. Once in a while, I'll just hop in, drop in some things, and I'll disappear again. And really, really, when I remember all we've done before now, the monthly news, the radio shows, the health tips, several things we've done now before I hit the pause button, I kind of sighed. So much effort, we just put it on a blog and then had to move. Well, life happened and I had to take that break, necessary break. I'm here again for good, really for good. I'm not disappearing like I did the last time. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please subscribe. I'm Hiya. Some of my friends call me Stella Maris because that's what they know me as. And my online brand name is Dr. STM. STM for Stella Maris. So you're welcome to the channel. Please subscribe and turn on notifications. Don't forget that. I have many gist to give you, but I think I'll probably take a break now, grab a cup of water, and then we'll come back and face the real gist. I have so many of them, so stay tuned. Alright, welcome back. So when I started this channel, it was all fun and trial, more like let's see what this has to offer. I had no exact goal or direction, but then at least I'm a doctor, so the topic to discuss was not far. That's how I started, one video after the other, multiple ideas flying in, and yet I have to handle video editing and handle other social media platform waiting. And when I realized that YouTube is just more than showing up to camera and lights and talking, it started to become overwhelming. Like, shit was real. You've got to think of content ideas, you've got to think of how to really make it engaging, and think of video editing, and then you think of gadgets, costumes, where to stay and record, time to record, so many things on my head, and yet I have to handle every other thing happening in my life. At some point, I had to get someone to start editing my videos, but not only was this person output below my test, but he was also working remotely, far from me. So this whole struggle of uploading videos to and fro, large quantity of, because sometimes the videos are in gigabytes and I have to move to him, he would edit, send back corrections, I'll send back to him again. And of course, by the time we are done, we would have done this about 3 or 4 rounds to get something workable in this MTN world of data. Oh my god. I eventually got another person, but by then I was properly tired of doing this whole thing. So I said, you know what, STN, we have to drop this for now. We have to take a rest, a proper rest. And I think that was the period I did that video on health tips for working from home, and you should really go and see that video. It's a valuable video. I'll drop the link somewhere in the description section or just in this video, but you should really see it. It's valuable. Don't go now. At the end of this video, you can go and look at it. Alright, so while I was battling with keeping up with YouTube, I still had to maintain my work, my small company, other social media platforms, my family, and my personal life, and it became really overwhelming that I had to just take a hard decision and call it a quit then. So since I stopped creating content for YouTube, a lot of things have happened in my life, right from the moment of, I think I stopped being consistent around August, September 2021. You see why I said I think it's up to 18 months, I'm not sure again. And to start with, I quit my job. Alright, so how you're consoling or teaching someone something, but deep right within you, you are a proper mess on a similar issue. So I reached that state where in my job, I was mentally tired, yet I was offering my patients facade, just giving them, being there for them. But within me, STM was just not there. I would get home tired, thinking of many things and thinking about my life. Like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Oh my God. So at some point, I started becoming ill often. There was no month that would go without me taking pills. In fact, it became frequent almost every 2 weeks. I was just absorbed with job stress, plus the stress from building my goals and other things, thinking about what next. My God, it was funny. So as I was quitting YouTube, I also called this job a quit. I also had this long-term plan of not continuing in the hospital system because I already know that I didn't want to continue so long as a clinician. So I was already living that dream partly because I was somehow doing my data analysis, project management, research solutions thing. But at the same time, having to think of everything happening at the same time, the social media and of course this platform, this YouTube platform, and this work that is taking my neck. So I had to call myself and I to a board meeting, and we said, you know what, enough of all these things. Let's have a break. Aside the fact that I quit my job, truth be told, at different times I tried to launch back on YouTube. That's the truth. But life decided to play ping pong with me, tennis. So it plays me this way. One night when I think I'm surviving this, another one comes in. Early 2022, literally. In fact, January 8th, we started the year with security issues. A thief stormed our house that night. In fact, we were lucky that damages were little. He took some items, and by the time he could advance, my brother noticed what was happening, raised an alarm, and the guy fled. But all of us have been living properly with the PTSD that came with that, because till now, like at night, I don't work well with sounds. Any slight sound, it triggers me like, is it that experience happening again? So if we started the year with security issues, it's not funny, especially to my brother, whose items, most of the items that the guy took was his. So it's really not a good one. And again, that same month, I started a new program. Was it January or February? Well, I think it's either January or that February. I started a new program. So I have been formally crunching numbers since I started school. Like, you cannot know STM through her school days, primary, secondary, or university, and not know my relationship with mathematics and numbers. It's not possible. It's just like STM and numbers are very close. So till now, some people still wonder why I chose to do medicine against something that's related to mathematics in the first place. Well, that's a story for another day. So in my profession, I've been applying my love for numbers to data analysis for health-related data. That's where I've been applying it, and I've been doing that for more than 7 years. I've been using different tools. And you know how when it comes to driving, you might be a very old, experienced driver, but vehicles start changing, just like when we moved from manual gears to automatic gears, and you have to update and learn how to drive automatic gears, or the days we used to type with typewriters, and today computers have taken over the system. So for me, I had to learn Python because Python was becoming, it was gaining increased attention and becoming quite popular compared to what I was using for data analysis. And I enrolled for a course with Kadatemi and started it. Do I love the program? Absolutely yes. Like, I am so happy that I did not yield to fear and procrastination this time around and got to the end of this. Some of you that may have been following me on different platforms may have known when I was doing this, particularly on Twitter, because I was tweeting about it, and it was an awesome experience having to learn about that too, because now when I'm doing my work, it's left to me to choose what I want to use and do my analysis now, and even the predictive analysis and more. So I am happy with that. I'm happy I learned it. So while I was still learning this program, one of the days we were to have our sessions. We typically meet on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So one of those Saturdays, March 12th precisely, I got a call from my dad by 3:31 p.m. You can see the time is still there in my head because it's real. My dad said my sister had an accident in Osaka, a bike accident. Like within a second, I froze, fainted, and woke up within a second when I got that news. And it was a big deal for me because that period that a thief stormed our house, I had a very bad dream where my sister died after falling from a height. So I had to unleash the prayer warrior in me, like this kind of thing. If that was the only weapon I had, I just don't know what to believe, but I prayed about it. So receiving this call where my dad told me my sister had an accident, you can imagine what went through my head at that time. Plus, being a doctor working in Nigeria, knowing what the health system in our country is like, just imagine what was happening in my head at that time. I was not around at home. My dad traveled. My mom was still coming back from Abuja. My husband was not around. And my brother, I wasn't sure of where he was when all these things were happening. So it was more of a phone call thing at the same time. So, but calls after calls, and eventually my brother and my mom went to Nsukka that night, came back. To cut the long story short, the accident had an impact enough that my sister had short-term memory issues, and she had a fixed fracture on her face with multiple bruises around her body. But you see, when things happen, it's quite funny. I had to leave my house and go to my parents' house to nurse my sister, and in 2 weeks, she has made an amazing recovery that one would not believe what she went through at that time. It was so important to us that by the Sunday of that second week, we had to do a family Thanksgiving and also threw a surprise birthday party for my mom because the following Monday was her birthday. I wasn't expecting the party. So we found a way to turn the ugly situation into something to be grateful about. And then, when I tell people, my friends or something, that last year I was in a survival mode, they'll be like, you're whining us now, you'd have been enjoying. I'm like, no, I was in a survival mode. So January, it was the case of security. March, it was my sister's accident, and eventually we got back to life, trying to pick up from where we stopped. Plus financial issues, so you should think about all these things happening around at the same time. Around June, July, I think that was May, June, I was having frequent illness again upon the fact that I've resigned from hospital. So it was obviously not a case of stress sickness. In fact, last year, 90% of my presence in the hospital was as a patient and not as a doctor. So I was seeing my doctor on phone, and at some point he said, you know what, this issue is now high, it has become this serious, so we have to book a surgery. So it wasn't like an emergency surgery, something that has been there that we've been managing, but apparently it felt like going to call his extended family to come and visit STM, and July 23rd I was under the knife. The surgery was successful, true, but the first 2 weeks after the surgery, it was not funny. Different types of pain issues back to back, and seriously, it wasn't like this is the first time I had a surgery. No, because this is actually the third time I was having a surgery. That was why all the experience that came with that one was surprising, because I have anticipated the pain, I've anticipated the distress and whatever happened. But well, after everything, it turned out fine. In fact, right now, my sister will always tease me that while going to the hospital, like, carried all my skincare products, like, we are going to glow in the hospital. But then, when this whole issue started, I have to be alive first now and take care of myself to even stand up, talk more of doing anything skincare glow. My goodness. A lot of things has happened on the way. If you've not subscribed to this channel now, you're really wrong. You should subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with your friends, because every week you're going to be having interesting posts here, and you'll be learning a lot from them. So when I decided to take a break from my job, bills did not care that I was jobless to come still looking at me. Bills does not know anything on the man. And if abuse, we are still there glaring. I think they doubled or likely tripled glaring. Hey, so I had to find a way to survive. And that pushed me to scale it used to be a side hustle, and I now pushed it up to a proper business, built a website, hired staff, set up my accounting and invoicing system, even our project management system where we are taking up, tracking all our tasks one by one and making sure that we are following up. In fact, the first cold mail message I sent out on WhatsApp brought me so many clients that I had to immediately activate everything I know about time management to see that I don't fall hard. So I am pretty much happy with how much I've done with Novarus Care. That's the name of my business. Where we are now, it's just where I wanted it to be. I grew well. I kept having referrals back to back. One customer, one happy client brings back another, or even more than one. I have someone that has up to 10 referrals from him, and I'm so happy about that. Yes, I scaled, and it's actually boosted my confidence to let me know again that I am good at what I do. And I have options, and I can take a leap and move on with it. So while all these things were happening, another bold step I took along the way. I'm laughing because I don't know what was giving me the morale to do all these things I'm doing now. Like telling you this story now, I'm at the same time thinking, STM, who gave you the morale to do all these things? I had the surgery July 23rd, right? And then July, August, September, I was recovering. But I went to launch a new project in September. Who does that? Someone that is still picking up Nami walk pass. Well, it's something I had always dreamt of, and I had to do it because I had this target. I wanted to do it as my birthday project. So my birthday was to come October 21, and I wanted to launch it that period, and I succeeded. I knew that I wasn't strong enough. But if there's one thing that played very well for me last year, it was the people around me, family and friends. They were my foundation. So I shared the dream with my brother, my cousin, and some closer friends, and they applauded it, gave me ideas, and we started working. I took it just one day at a time, one step at a time. And it's the Life Beyond School mentoring program. I'll also drop the link to the website of the program on the description so you can see it. So you know this way where in school, people who make A grades or promising people that are usually cajoled as per that they won't make it in life because they are not street smart or something like that compared to their counterparts that is only book that they know. Or when two classmates graduate, one is a female and the other one is a male, and they graduate and leave school, university in this time around, and the female is still clueless on what next to do, what should I do, masters or do job and something like that, and plus the marriage pressures that would just be around the corner. But the guy has gone on into the industry, into the market, stamping his name everywhere. So in that thing, not only have I experienced part of it, and I know many people that have experienced it, and I was pretty sure that if we all had some knowledge of what we know now, if we knew it back then when we left school or while we were in school, would be way better out than what we were today. I've had my own fair share of that experience, and I can also say that I've learned from other people's experiences. So I had to launch this program for young, promising Nigerian girls who are still in school or just about 2 years post-university studies. And the goal was to teach them essential things that are not taught in classroom. That's the essence of the mentoring program overall that I set up, and so far so good. We had great applications because I had to put up an application system to be sure we are choosing the best, the people who deserve it, and not just anyone that steps in. So we had a lot of applications with screen. Currently we are distributing out the outcome of the applications to them, and I can't be less grateful to everyone who has played a role in the whole preparation so far, including those that reviewed the applications, because I did not review anything. I wanted to make sure there was no bias, so I pushed it out to independent reviewers who do not even know themselves nor had any interaction at any time. So they reviewed, sent back to us, and we collected it and made the selection. The details of the project are all on the website, and I'll drop the link there in the description section. You or your business, company, or organization can also support us to groom these girls. We have a great recognition and reward system for all our supporters, and you won't be left out if you decide to support us. If you want to support us, please, please, and please, my contact modes are all littered in the description section, so you can easily get to me, or I'll also add the mail address of the project so that you can also send a mail if that is what you desire. But yes, we are moving forward, and thank you for that. So you can now see that I've navigated this story from the bads and the uglies to the good. Well, one of the good side that happened was that my sister got married. My baby girl got hitched, and we were so happy with the whole thing. The same year that the devil came for her life became her great year too. Again, STM 2 life 0. Oh, because we won this one. And it's remembering how the whole thing happened, how we got to know her husband, and the whole, of course, there's always to say yes or to say no from the family end, and then eventual agreement and the wedding day. Oh my god, yes, it was a good experience, and we're happy with that. And one of the good, great, I'm thinking of the best adjective to describe that, things that happened last year was that I got a new bragging rights. I mean, all my contacts on WhatsApp, for those that view my status, they would have known what I'm about to talk about. So because they tend to get all the juice that has been, well, not all, but most of the juice that has been happening, that I've not been sharing here on YouTube, they get to see it. So my mom got promoted to a professor. And if you check my Twitter headline, I think you will see Ada Prof, because that's not my new bragging right. If you call me Ada Prof, I go booga, because that's my new bragging right, you know. But I think I should add that to Facebook, Instagram. He has to come across all my social media platforms, really, because he's a bragging right. Now, if you're an Igbo, if you're not an Igbo, baby, you don't understand what ADAPROF means. It's daughter of a professor. So you understand, you should get my bragging right. My mom is now a professor, and most people that know my mom and what she has been doing, her caliber, her achievements, so I can say, I mean, that this promotion is a long-awaited and overdue promotion. And well, excluding the Nigerian factor, I guess it's safe to say that God's time is not human's time. It is here, and we are all happy. Call me Ada Prof. Yeah, that's me. And lastly, I started my master's program in health informatics. And I also got a cool scholarship to go along with it, the International Excellence Scholarship. You can notice my facial expression as I'm telling this, because I'm smiling here and there. I'll tell you the reason at the end of it. But when I told one of my colleagues that I was not going to do a master's in public health, it was like, I said, I'm not going to do a master's in public health, that I'm kind of advanced for that. It was like, oh, Chimo, you can't get the brain of an rock. Get an Igbo friend to interpret that for you. Just get an Igbo friend to interpret that for you, or beg them in the comment section, they will interpret it. Get the brain of an rock. So, now this is not to belittle masters in public health, but I personally already have a wealth of experience in public health, and I've had several certifications and training to fortify my knowledge on public health. I've had both local and international trainings. I've had one with University of Washington. I've had the ones with West African Institute of Public Health and the rest. So to me, whatever knowledge that I would have gained in public health, I already have it. And I enjoy the health informatics. In fact, I'm going to make a separate video to give you all the source and juice about this course, health informatics, and what it's all about, and why I am just not regretting making that option of doing health informatics as my master's. But then, now, here's the main reason why I'm smiling. I just want to put this right here. Behind every yes, I made it, or yes, you're selected, there are numerous, so many. Unfortunately, we regret to inform you, no, we have not chosen you, and the rest. I've had many negative answers. Before I got this admission, I've had many negative answers to different opportunities that I applied for. Even before I got this scholarship, I've also had numerous, unfortunately. As a matter of fact, even before I started recording this video, I've had one, unfortunately, and I've cried it out, made up, and came to record the video. So why am I saying this? I had to put all this out to encourage and to remind you that we all pass through life, we all pass through phases, we all pass through stages. We all get jabs of life. If it gets hard, take a break, clear your head. If you must cry like I do, please do. I mean, you've got this. You will win some and you will lose some. Don't think that everybody gets whatever they apply for. It's not true. So if you've been applying for many things, or you've been having so many setbacks or bad news, chill. In fact, get a diary. Try to force yourself to think about something good that happens in your life, and you begin to see that some things happen for good. I keep telling when we discuss with my family, one of the days I told my mom, I said, this thing that happened to us last year, many of them were bound to happen. But I think that the good aspect of it was, with prayers and everything or whatever, the impact reduced. The thief was bound to come. The accident was bound to happen. I've heard people say, hey, you can pray and pray everything off. I mean, this is life. Bad things are bound to happen. But sometimes we should see from the fact that the impact is not that heavy. Now, I'm talking about admissions and opportunities that have been lost. It's also a way to let you know that you win some and you lose some, and so you don't have to just drop online because of everything happening. You've just literally listened to my own story, the accident, the theft, the surgery, and the rest. But this is still me back up here and having the good and the bad to share. So I will really encourage you to pick yourself up and don't drop on your goals. Phew. That's been a long narration. I even omitted some because I think they're too personal or maybe trivial to share it here. So now that I'm back to YouTube, my content will get better. Of course, what do you expect? And I'll be more consistent and my content will be more directional. My discussions will be more on health system, tech, and personal development. Career professionals, particularly healthcare professionals, will benefit a lot from the series of content that I'll be dropping here. I'll continue with our monthly roundup of news within the health industry. I'm just gonna continue on that. And if there is a type of video or a content or topic that you would like me to discuss or take on, please don't hesitate to share that with me. Remember, you can always access my contact platforms. I've dropped on my social media platform links in the description section, so you can always contact me via any of them and I'll be willing to have a discussion with you on that. I'm really happy to be doing this again. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, share this video with your friends and colleagues. Tell them STM is back to doing this again, and see you next week when I post another video. Can you guess the topic? So see you next week when I post another video. Until then, do have a great week, and I missed you really. I missed doing this again. Bye.